If you could do anything or have anything, what would that look like to you? I want you to take a moment and really ask yourself, what is it something that you strive for? Where do you see yourself within the next 3 months? Really tune in and imagine what your future self looks like. Now take that into consideration and create that image in your head and ask yourself why. Why do you want to be in that future self? Why do you want to be in that certain state? Once you answer that first why, I want you to ask that why again. So for example, let's say you are working a certain job that is paying $100,000 per year or more. And you also have a side hustle that you're trying to grow into your own business. The why behind that is because you want to reach financial freedom. That just gives a short amount of the true reason of why you are doing what you're doing. Sure, financial freedom is great, but why do you want to reach financial freedom? Is it because you feel that you are able to live freely, make your own schedule, experience things that you haven't before, to travel? And once you answer that, then you're going to ask yourself the why again. So the more you ask yourself why, the more it's bringing you home. The home is what is inside you, what is inside your mind. And it could be a true feeling of love, the why behind what you're doing, Once you figure out the why behind that, then you need to consider what is holding you back. Are there certain things in life, such as maybe family members telling you of what your adult life should look like? Is it someone that told you had to work a certain job? You had to reach this amount of success to really be in that, to be able to move forward with that goal. Or maybe it's something about a certain weight that you need to be. You need to be a certain weight before you can travel. Or you need to be a certain weight before XYZ. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something with your family members. Once your kids go to school, then you'll be able to focus on your health. Or maybe there's someone that's more fit than you, has more desires to go in the gym, has more stamina. Maybe it's someone that's more financially fit, more attractive. So these are certain things that can be holding us back. And I want you to take a moment to really write down, at least daily, for even a week, 2 weeks, a month. Really tune in, tap into what those problems are that are holding you back. So once you write those down over the next period of time, I want you to also consider, what if those chains or those things that are holding you back could dissolve? So these chains or these beliefs that we have is really what we're telling ourselves. It could be something that we are telling ourselves that isn't really necessarily true. It could be something that has been previously ingrained in us since we were kids, maybe teenagers, and maybe during our adult lives. So if you could get rid of that, would you be in abundance of possibilities and opportunities? Would you be willing to say yes to whatever came your way? And so when we consider these thoughts, we really need to know that our minds are developing these thoughts that really determine how our outcome is going to look like. So this ongoing conversation in our mind of, I'm not good enough, I'm too messed up, I'm too old to be able to start this new journey, or I have no time to be able to take on this weight loss journey, to maybe stop eating sugar, to meal prep, whatever that may be, is telling your brain that's exactly what the outcome is going to be. So you're telling yourself these things, and so Those are the actions that are going to come from it. So if we can really tap into our mind and change our mindset, that can actually change our actions and behaviors. So our thoughts really affect our emotions, our beliefs, our feelings, and how we relate to other people. It's really affecting everything, even down to the level of even affecting our hormones. So to consider that even when you're feeling certain amounts of stress, right, that really affects our hormones. So our thoughts is affecting everything in way of life. And most importantly, it's also affecting our love and our source of love and how we connect with love. And so this really governs our behavior in everything in life. So for example, a limiting belief of mine, I was in my dietetic internship, and you have to go through an internship before being a dietitian. And while I was in college, I really thought I had huge potential, that I was well educated, I was well above my class, but for some reason that switch turned on when I went to my internship. I was in a new setting, a clinical setting, a hospital, and I thought that I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't good enough to be with these dietitians. And so this limiting belief began to occur, and it really affected how I would relate with the other dietitians there. It really affected my work ethic. I really wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. I felt that I couldn't keep up with the work they were doing, and in turn, it showed, right? But at time, it even got worse where it affected just my ability to perform. So I actually injured my knee during that time. And I really think that could have arose from that limiting belief that I wasn't good enough. So it kind of in turn impacted myself physically. And so, this occurred over and over again. I created pain in my body. So the more you continue to have these self-critical thoughts and you're telling your brain to create that subconscious picture in your mind, it will create those neural pathways to actually form that belief system. So I feel that I formed that belief system that I wasn't good enough. And so in turn, my body reacted to it, and I wasn't able to actually put my 100% effort into the rotation, and it affected me throughout that entire year. It really hurt to go into my rotations. And so with the amount of research that's done, it has shown that our brains, that even if we know that our emotions or reactions, we feel that they stem from our beliefs and visceral experiences in the body. So our emotions send out a vibration, a frequency that attracts people, things, and circumstances with the same vibration as when I attracted that injury from not feeling good enough. So this is called the law of attraction. So I have a following list written out, so I'm just going to read those real quick. So the following list of symptoms and disorders that may manifest from self-criticism could be acne, anxiety, anger management and issues, alcoholism, back pain, blocking out childhood memories, body image issues, I should say, depression, digestive issues, disassociation from the body, dysfunctional relationships, eating disorders, fear of intimacy, fetishes, guilt, shame, and fear, injuries, low self-esteem, distrust in God, nightmares, numbness, paranoia, insomnia, self-mutilation, sexual addiction, substance abuse, trust issues, violence. So those aren't necessarily what stem from limiting beliefs, but they definitely can be. So do any of those symptoms resonate with you? I'm also going to list these symptoms in the PDF so you can look through them again. But perhaps you have been experiencing these symptoms without realizing they're connected to your thoughts. So ask yourself, what do you criticize yourself for?